I'm here today to do a Percy Jackson tier ranking list. So, of course, the top is God tier, then love, then like, then mad, then should die. So, first we have Frank. And I am debating on if I should put Frank in love or God tier. Okay, I'm gonna put Frank in love, but that might change because I love Frank. Poseidon. I'll put Poseidon in meh or like, I don't know. Let's put Poseidon in like, because he's not bad. Actually, let's put him in meh. I like his character development. I think he's one of the better godly parents, but he's still not great. Okay, Tyson goes in love. Tyson is great. I love Tyson. I really, really, really love him, especially in Sea of Monsters. Once he gets with Ella, it gets kind of weird, but Heroes of Olympus is kind of weird. But especially in the first series, I really love Tyson. And if it weren't for the things that happen in Heroes of Olympus, I would put him in God tier. Zoe Nightshade, I want to put her in like, her death really did affect me when I first read the book. I still remember reading it to this day, and just, she has such a wonderful line when she dies, but I feel like other than her death, she doesn't really have anything too crazy about her character. And also, we didn't even get a whole entire book to get to know this character, so I'm not gonna love her and put her in God tier just from knowing her in one book, even if that one book is one of the best books that Rick Riordan has ever written. Okay, I've heard Talia and Thalia. I say Thalia because that's what the author says, but I don't know. I've heard multiple different things, so I'm just call her Thalia. I'm gonna put her also in like, she's really, really great, don't get me wrong, but she's not as great as Frank. I really like her relationship with Jason, and we'll get to Jason in a little bit because I have strong opinions on Jason. But she is a really interesting character. I really like, especially, I just like how her story evolves. She's really good in the Demigod Diaries. I really like her in that. I also really like her in and then in the Titan's Curse. I really like her when she becomes a hunter. I think that is really interesting too. So she's just a really good character, but I wouldn't quite put her up to Frank. Zeus, I'll put in and should die. I think he's a really compelling character. It's just there's a lot of issues. He's not the best character. Like, I don't like him. I think he's really well written. It's not based on how well written the character is. It's just based on, I don't like Zeus. You're not supposed to like Zeus. So Rick does a great job with that, but it's just, I gotta put him in should die. Clarice. I'm gonna put Clarice in like 2. I really, really, really like Clarice. I think she's a great character. I also really I just love her character development, which is why I'm kind of thinking about putting her in love, but I don't know. We haven't gotten to a lot of the main characters yet, and those I'll put more in love and God tier, so I feel like, here, I'm gonna put her top. After it, I'll change it and rank all the characters from best to worst. But, yeah, that's probably where I would put her. She's awesome. I really like her relationship with Coach Hedge in Heroes of Olympus. It's one of the best parts of some of the not so much interesting parts of Heroes of Olympus. I really like some sections of Heroes of Olympus. Like House of Hades is my favorite Raritan verse book ever. But there's some books like Mark of Athena and Blood of Olympus that just aren't as interesting as some of the other stories. So and she's one of the best parts. So I really want to put her in love, but I think she's got to go in like, okay, Percy Jackson himself, no competition, goes in God tier. Do I need to explain myself? Percy is a character that I relate to a lot, and I just really, really love him. He's probably my favorite main character I've ever read. He's an interesting main character. That's a thing you have, like Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. I think he's a great character, but nowhere near as great as Hermione or any of the side characters. He's not my least favorite character, but anyone that says Harry Potter is their favorite character has not read or watched the movies. It's just trying to get out of the question. But yeah, and he's actually, it changes. Sometimes it's Annabeth and sometimes it's Percy, but they're really close. It might even be tied with who's my favorite. But yeah, I really, really love Percy, so I gotta put him in God tier. Okay, Jason. I don't want to put him in should die, but I don't want to put him in meh. I think Jason's just boring. I think he has some really great parts, but majority of his character is just really boring. So I'll put him in meh. I don't think he needs to go down with Zeus, but yeah. Okay, this is an unpopular opinion. Please don't hate me. He's still gonna be high, but Leo's not my favorite character by any means. I'm still gonna put him in love, but I don't know. He's not my favorite. There's people who are saying, I've seen people that say he's their favorite character, and I understand why, but I just don't. I didn't really have that much of a connection with his character. I really like his backstory, and I liked the beginning, and then once House of Hades happened with a certain someone, I don't know if she's on this list. Yep, she is. Okay. That whole entire section just made me really angry. I didn't like how the character went on from there. So I'm gonna put him in love because I loved Leo up to where he meets Calypso. So I still gotta put him in love, but it's just, I don't like his character development very much. Reina, no question. Should I put her in God tier or love? She's probably gonna go up there with Frank. Oh my goodness, Frank. Okay. She's wonderful, but I think God tier has to go to 2 characters. Okay. I don't think I need to explain this. Reina is amazing. I really, really love her relationship with Nico. And Nico's coming too. Oh, okay. Maybe God tier has to be for 3 characters. So, yeah, I really, really love her. I love her relationship with Nico. It's such a great brother-sister relationship. I really love her backstory. I think she's a great leader. She represents such an amazing part of just what the series represents. And I love her so much. She is such a good character. I remember reading Heroes of Olympus for the first time and remembering thinking that she was such an amazing character, and I couldn't wait for her to become best friends with Annabeth, because Annabeth is coming hopefully soon, because I love Annabeth. Yeah, she's right there. Okay, Bianca. Another one I gotta put in, I like her. There's a lot of issues with her character. I really like her, don't get me wrong. I think she's wonderful, but she's kind of dumb. I understand why she does what she does with joining the Hunters. If you had to babysit your baby brother for as long as she had to, I probably would have gone crazy too. And now that she's going crazy, that was a bad way of wording it. It's just, they probably wasn't the best idea with the situation she was in. And then it just, I didn't hate her. I just think she's kind of dumb. And yeah, I don't think she's bad though. Okay, moving on to Clover though. Grover goes in, no, not that. Grover goes in love too. I love Grover. Grover is so sweet, and he's just wonderful. He's probably the part I miss the most about Heroes of Olympus. Without the full trio, it just wasn't the same. I loved the 7, but I still wish to this day that they could have just had 8 and added Grover, or not had Coach Hedge. I think Coach Hedge is great in the later books, but he drove me absolutely crazy in the first 3. The first 3, I think he was annoying and awful, and I did not like him. But in the last 2, I actually started to really like his character, and I understood more about him. He had really good character development, I'll say that, but I would love to see Grover in the Heroes of Olympus. I think he would have made that series so much better than it was, and I'm still salty about it. Okay, so Nico, like I said, I'm gonna make it 3rd space for Nico. Do I even need to explain? Everyone loves Nico. Nico is such an interesting character. It is so interesting to see how he goes from this cheerful little boy to emo, angry at everyone, to emo, happy, and then just his whole entire thing, and then his relationship with Will, which just makes me so happy, which Will is coming soon, so I'll have a whole entire thing about Will. Will just makes me so happy, and I love Will. Okay, so yeah, I think he's just such a cool storyline, and his personality just helps every single team he's a part of, and his powers are so cool, so I just have to put him in God tier. Okay, Luke. Okay. I know I'm getting hate for this. I know I am. But it's happening. Okay. I'll explain myself. I don't think what Luke did was correct. I don't think it was right. Morally, anyway, I don't think what he did was right. I agree with what he was fighting for. And I think at the end he understood that. Do I think he's a creepy person? Yes. Do I think he's a wonderful villain, though? Absolutely. This is why I kind of feel bad about putting Zeus as low as I did, because I knew Luke was gonna go in love. I think he's a great villain. I don't think I have to say anything else. I think he's a great villain, and I really, really love what they did with his character. And you can't lie. Lightning Thief Luke is amazing. And then you feel betrayed. You feel just as betrayed as Percy does. It's just, his whole entire story arc is one of the most interesting parts of the original series, and I just have to put him in love for that. He's such an interesting character to see how he's a good guy, and then he goes from being one of the best villains I probably have ever read, and then at the last minute he realizes everything he did was terrible, and how he could have fought for the thing he was fighting for in a much better way. And it's just such an interesting way of dealing with it, and I just have to put him in love. Okay, Will also goes in love. Will also has to go in love. I love Will. Don't get me wrong, I love Will, but I don't think he can go any higher than that. He's not quite God tier, but Will is awesome. Will is one of the best parts of the series, and he's just my little ray of sunshine, and it makes me so happy. And yeah, okay, moving on. Hera should die. Don't need to explain that, I don't think. If you've read the Heroes of Olympus, basically everything she did in Heroes of Olympus and everything she's done to Annabeth, there. Sally, top tier, love. I love her. She's great. She is such a supportive mom to Percy. I still want to make blue food because of her. Every single time I want to. I can't, which makes me so sad, but I just need to make blue cookies. It just needs to happen, and I just need to do it. I'm always worried that it'll make a big mess, though, because I know it will. But she's such a supportive mom to everyone. She's that mom that is there for everyone, and you can just call her and be like, hey, I'm not having such a great day, and she'll be there for you. She'll sit down with you. Oh my goodness, I love her. I love her so much. I wish we saw her in Heroes of Olympus. Another thing I'm salty about with Heroes of Olympus is the only thing we have with Paul and Sally is, where they're like, wait, did I accidentally make a ship name? Is Saul a ship name? I don't know. I just on accident said Saul instead of Paul, and I just realized that would be a great ship name. Oops, okay. Moving back to what I was talking about, though, the only thing we have with them is just Percy being like, oh, hey, I'm not dead. We didn't get to see their reaction. It was sad, and I wish we got to see more of them in Heroes of Olympus. Okay, Calypso. I hate her. Like I said, she's the reason I don't like Leo's character. I feel like she just should... I feel like if their relationship was platonic and not romantic, it would be so much better. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I feel that Leo still would have felt the same and felt betrayed by Percy and would have gone to go get her anyway. And we wouldn't need this toxic I don't love you, but I love you thing. And it's so bad. It's awful. I loved her in the not Titan's Curse. Battle of the Labyrinth. I loved her in Battle of the Labyrinth. If I had just read Battle of the Labyrinth, no question in my mind, she would be up there in love. But they just completely ruined her character after that, and it's mostly just because I feel like Rick has a really bad tendency of trying to pair up everyone, even if they don't work together. Just because Percabeth worked so well does not mean everything else does. Hazel also works. I love them. But, and then Will and Nico. They're great. Other than that, I don't think there's a single relationship that really is wonderful. This is just another example of that. I don't like it very much. Okay, moving on from Calypso. I'm not going to do Annabeth. Oh, oops. Okay. Annabeth goes up there too. She is actually I'll just put it there. I'm gonna put them together. I'm gonna put Percy first. But I think they're actually tied. I think just the two of them just make such a great relationship. And just Annabeth by herself is also a great character. That's another thing I really like about these two characters is together they're awesome, but separated they're awesome. They're both really interesting characters and they have such cool things about them. Annabeth is so smart and has such a cool backstory, and it works so well. And I gotta say, the two of them are probably probably about it. They are one of my favorite book characters of all time. I love those two so much. Okay, now back down to Kyron. I gotta put him in I think he's great, especially in the musical, but I don't know. He's just kind of there. He's a great leader. Has some really great lines. I will never forget the beginning, that first chapter of The Lightning Thief, and with him, I will never forget it. But there are interesting parts, and then there's some parts I don't really remember a whole lot. And also the fact that he's Cronus's son is pretty cool. Oh no, he's related to Kronos. It's really cool too. But I feel like there's just a lot of other characters on this list that deserve that spot. Okay, Octavian, no surprise. Another character I really, really like what he represents. I just don't really like him as a character. I will fight for anyone that says Octavian is a blatantly bad character. That goes to Calypso. Calypso's the worst. But I think he's actually a really interesting character. He has a lot of really, really well done stuff. It's just he's not the best. He's not the most well written. Okay, Hazel goes up there with Frank. I really like Hazel. I think Hazel is a great character, and also her and Frank are one of the best relationships in all of Percy Jackson. I love the two of them so much. They are such sweet. They're so sweet, and I love them. And once again, Hazel by herself is a sweet character, but she also knows when to be the boss and when to be in charge of things, which just makes her even cooler. So yeah, I just love her. I love her powers. I love her backstory. Just everything about Hazel just makes me so happy. And then when you add Frank in it, it just makes me smile. I remember reading Son of Neptune, which is one of my favorite Heroes of Olympus books, and I just remember smiling the whole entire time when they were together. It just made me so happy. I was so happy whenever they were together. Oh my goodness, I'm smiling right now. I don't know if you can tell, but I have the biggest smile just thinking about it. I love them so much. Okay, now Piper. Okay. I did it. I gotta do that. I did it. I don't think Piper's as bad as some people say, but I don't think she's great. And I think she has a really cool backstory. I like her powers. I think she's an interesting character. It's just I don't really like her personality. I think her personality is sometimes taken too, it can sometimes be to a point where it's too much, and that's okay, but I don't really think It's great. Oh, and then Athena can just go right there. Athena's just Athena. I don't think she's bad, but yeah, she's not great. Okay, so first I'm gonna move them around now. First Percy, then Annabeth, but they're actually, I'm gonna say this, tied for first place are Percy and Annabeth. Second place is Nico. Third place is Raina. Fourth place is Hazel. Fifth place is Frank. Let's actually do that. Sixth place is Sally. Seventh place is Clover. Eighth place is Will. Ninth place is Tyson. 10th place is Luke. 11th place is Leo. 12th place is Clarice. Let's do that. I think I said 12th for Clarice, so 13th would be Thalia. 14th is Kyron. 15th is Zoe, and 16th is Bianca. 17th is Poseidon. 18th is Piper. 19th is Jason. 20th is Athena. Okay. I'm gonna say 21st is Octavian. 22nd is Zeus, but Hera and Zeus are pretty much tied. 23rd is Hera, and 24th, the last, is Calypso. I don't like her. Okay, so there's that. There's my list of my favorite Percy Jackson characters. Thank you for watching this video. I know it was a kind of a long video, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys are interested in seeing some more of these tier ranking lists, I have another one that I could do that is MCU friendships, and I could rank that one. And I could find any tier ranking list for anything I ever want. So yeah, just if the comments are on, tell me what your thoughts are on these videos, if you want to see more of them. Yeah, I hope you're just having a wonderful day. I love you 3000 and stay safe. Bye guys!